It might have been tough to notice me, but here I am, just hidden in plain sight. Yet still, this is another one of my vlog videos, my video diaries, whatever you want to call it. And today we're talking about the game that I have completed just today. And it is Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. So my relationship with the Yakuza series is, I already talked about it extensively before. I have made 2 videos recently about it. I have completed Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon last year, and I have completed Yakuza Kiwami 2 last month. And now I have tackled the beast that is Yakuza 6. Truly a life-changing experience. Well, not life-changing, but it certainly showed the new direction for the series after Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 was astonishing. It was a masterpiece. It was everything that was good about the Yakuza was there, and there was more. And this was truly a sequel to this game. Of course, Yakuza Kiwami 1 was developed and published first. It was released before Yakuza 6, but Yakuza 6 had the pleasure of using all of the knowledge and experience, all of the good ideas of Yakuza 0 to put it into the new game. Also, they developed the new engine, the Dragon engine. I'm not sure, but I think the RGG Studios use this engine or the more modded version of it still to this day. At least Yakuza Kiwami 2 had it, and Yakuza 7 had it, which I have played recently, as I mentioned before, as well. Now, I want to explore what I think about the game in this video and give some of my opinions. So if you are a Yakuza fan, you're more than welcome. If you're new to the series, I'll try to not go into the spoiler territory, but know that I can be a little bit of a smug, because I expect good things from these games. So if that would be your first game in a series and you tackle all these themes, mini games, and everything for the first time and you have fun, I don't want to rob you of it. But sadly, I have something to compare it to, and that is, of course, other games in the series that I have completed before it, especially Kiwami 2, which I will talk later. So, the most important things about the game is the ability to play it. And this game, it runs. It didn't crash on me. It was all right in terms of that, but man, these Dragon Engine shenanigans, they were very, very brutal sometimes. In some cutscenes, hair or elements of the jacket, they were jiggling like the texture was somehow conflicting with other textures, so the physics engine didn't know what to do with it, and it was really distracting. Also, the game looks really dated, sadly. The game came out about 9 or 8 years before, and of course, some time has passed, but Kiwami 2, well, forget about it. I don't want to talk about Kiwami 2 because I have played the most modern version of it. They have re-released it last year, so I'm not fair about that. Still, the game isn't looking great. Some textures are flat, like someone made them out of clay, and they look very weird. And of course, like it always was with the Yakuza series, if you have a face of the important character, it is very detailed, and it has, very human-like proportions and emotions. If it is a secondary character, sometimes it can be very JPEG-like, It can feel low res. But I can applaud RGG Studios for using just a small variety of secondary faces that they just put on any unimportant characters randomly, so they don't feel as flat as they were, for example, in Yakuza 0. Like, they are not great, they certainly aren't bad, but overall graphics are dated, sadly. But it is alright. It is alright. On this channel, we don't play the games just for the graphics alone. Second important thing, and it is very important, of course, maybe someone who is watching is a filthy console gamer. Just kidding, you're not filthy, you're just misguided. But if you play PC version, you can have a better experience with this game. Of course, I'm talking about mods, and some of you may be, just feeling like, nah, not this again, PC gamers and their mods. But here I'm talking about very, very specific issue, one very important issue, and that is uh, copyright or something like that, region um, differences in the game that are different between each other region. I have took too long to say, to explain that. So what I mean is, in original game, which was released in Japan, they have employed the magnificent, the legend, one of my all-time favorite, singers and music writers, Tatsuro Yamashita. This man is a legend in its own right, and they employed him to write a part of a soundtrack for the game, and some of his songs are used in some of the more important cutscenes in the game. And because of this sort of kind of copyright issue, the Western copies of the game don't have that. Their cutscenes just use other, less, less suitable music, and thankfully, I have stumbled upon this issue quite early into my playthrough. I was like 1 hour in, and I have replayed the cutscene that I missed with the Tatsuro song, and I appreciated it, and my whole game felt very natural and very good. Overall soundtrack, is very good, and that's what I want to talk to you about next. It's the soundtrack. But still, don't you forget, if you're playing PC, Just check out. It is on Steam. You can Google it. How to put Tatsuri Yamashita songs back into the game. It is very easy. It's absolutely mandatory for authentic experience, in my opinion, of course. So soundtrack, as I mentioned, Tatsura is great. But there are a lot of other good tunes too. The mode of the game is slightly different. I think Yakuza 0 had the most, and Yakuza 7 to an extent too, had the most variety in terms of moods in the game. It has a lot of drama, of course, action, melodrama, romance. It has a lot of raw fun, absurdity. It even has some kind of spookiness, to it. You can see, something like a skeleton fella, or like a zombie, or even a ghost in these games. And that's, if you're a veteran of the series, that is pretty much what you expect from the new game. That this game will be fun, it will be entertaining, it will be engaging, and it will be sort of like a roller coaster of fun. And since the whole game is like an amusement park, if you're tired of some of the rides, you just go and ride the other ones. And I think that pretty much explains the whole experience with the Yakuza games. Why people love them, why I love them specifically, of course. And in Yakuza 6, it is slightly different. There is less, uh, there are more important themes that are brought up into this game, and soundtrack reflects it as well, and it does it very well. Soundtrack is so good that it has my favorite karaoke song in the whole series. Um, Check it out. It's called something like a Diamond. It also follows the theme of the game, of course, and it is very charming. It is very beautiful. It is sad that I haven't heard it in any other games, but it is also, I haven't played Yakuza. I have only played four of them. All right, give me some slack. I will. Yeah, I will find out. Maybe I will find this particular karaoke song in later games. I would be very glad to. But still, just so we're clear, soundtrack and overall sound design is top notch. RG Studios have made a very good work in that regard. But what is about the damn gameplay? We're in a new realm here. Yakuza 6. The Dragon Engine is what we have here. So let's remake the core aspects of the gameplay. We will have some of the ideas, they will remain the same, but still we will reinvent the wheel in a way that it will be more, you know, in some ways more reliable, in some ways it will be more practical, in some ways it would be more aesthetically pleasing, maybe, but still, the wheel was reinvented a little bit, and fighting, particularly, is a very important part of these games. As we all know, these games have an option of you carrying a lot of consumables in your inventory, which can make all of your experience much easier. And now you can also carry food, even though these stacks of items are somewhat small, but still I never felt like I am restricted in that regard. I've always felt like my inventory is bloated. Anyway, I just tried not to rely on that part again, like I did in Yakuza Kiwami 2, and I think because of that, my gameplay felt a little bit better. It was much better than Kiwami 2 actually in the beginning, because I felt like in Kiwami 2, even though the game has pretty much the same fighting system in most regards, but there are some noticeable differences. First one, in Kiwami 2, you can carry weapons with yourselves, and it is so cool that you can grab weapons from the weapons and put them in your pocket so you can use them in later fights. It is a very fun idea. I admire that. But I didn't use it much because sometimes it felt like the game was much easier because I just have a shit ton of weapons on me. It was insane. And especially since the game gave me a lot of DLC, which I didn't even buy, a lot of DLC items that had huge stats. They were very good. So yeah, I felt kind of guilty for using them. So Yakuza 6 doesn't have that, which is good for the balance of the game. Also, it doesn't have a taunt, if I understand correctly, or at least it didn't work for me. The taunt ability is you have it in the most of the Yakuza games. It just lets you fill up heat meter when you're not actively fighting. It could be very useful if you're trying to do some heat action moves or something in that regard. So yeah, sorry for that. Um, you don't have that, but on the other hand, in Yakuza Kiwami 2, it felt like my moveset was very restricted in the start. It felt like I was forced to play with very boring combos, and all of the good abilities were locked in a skill tree which I had to level. And not only that, it was locked into the higher tiers of skill tree sometimes. So it was like, you have to, well, I don't know, you have to, play on your gamepad, but the game says, no, you don't have, all of these fingers, you only have thumbs, and you should play with thumbs, and then you'll unlock the index fingers, the middle fingers, and all of them, and that was the feeling that I got from Yakuza Kiwami 2. In Yakuza Kiwami 6, it's completely different. It feels like the most important abilities are there from the start, or they are easy to unlock, and what you unlock is the boost to them, or some other more you know um, what deserves of great cost, not something to restrict you to. It felt good. But there are cracks in this design, certainly. It was most certainly, and it is noticeable very easily. And that is, of course, environmental weapons. The most useful weapon in the game is a bicycle, because a bicycle not only does a lot of damage, It hits in AoE radius, so it is very easy to just swipe a lot of enemies at once. But also it has an hit action, and hit actions deal a very very substantial amount of damage in this game. You can just rely on hit actions and even forget about leveling up, and you'll do fine. It is that you know I won't say it's stupid. It was just unbalanced, I'd say. Also, there is an ability that I relied upon quite heavily, is that if you catch someone by the neck and hold him, you can, throw him. You will do that movement around yourself, hitting with his torso enemies around you, and then you will throw him in the direction that you're facing. So if you are fighting a lot of enemies, which happens a lot in this game, by the way, which is kind of cool actually. This ability just, it makes these encounters so trivial. It makes them go so fast. And yeah, I think I don't necessarily think that it is bad, because I felt good about it. I felt like I had some fun, but still, I think it is unrefined at least. This same ability in Yakuza Kiwami 2, it isn't unlocked until later into the game. But still, I think I've had much more fun in that regard while fighting melee fighting in this game than Kiwami 2, even though Kiwami 2 has made some improvements in that regard. Also, while talking about gameplay, traveling is a big part about the game, and it was alright in this one as well. I never had any problems with traveling. Their taxis are at the places where you expect them to be, and even when you play Troubler mini missions, there are mini missions where on your phone you get notifications about something happening in town, like someone's getting robbed or something, and you, being a good Samaritan like you are, go and help them. And thankfully, you don't have to go onto the other end of the Skyrim to do them. When you get these notifications, it means that they are basically around 2 blocks from you, or even closer than that. I liked it. It was decent. It was alright. Or maybe even good. Also, the mini games are a big part of fun in this game, and some of these mini games are fun thematically, but in terms of gameplay, they are not even mediocre. They are boring sometimes, and it is a shame. But still, we will talk about mini games later, so stick around. The main mini game, these games can have the main mini games that give you some major ways to make money, or to have some other improvements or anything. And this game invented the mini game of Clan Creator. And oh boy, I have talked in my previous video what I think about Clan Creator from Kiwami 2, and Kiwami 2 has improved on the Clan Creator from this game in all regards, even in the story, which I really didn't like in Kiwami 2. Uh, I will talk about it later, but still, it was such a shame. It was such a missed opportunity, especially since the mini game about Kiryu clan has not much to do with Kiryu himself. It was a shame, really. And another very important aspect of the gameplay is the economy. Most of the things in this game cost money, and at the beginning I felt like I was really scraping by. I had to grind the random encounters in town to get as much cash as possible, but it wasn't very nice. I didn't get a lot of money and I wasted some time. And later I noticed that there are two items that you get very early into the game, just because, game just gives you it. And I just put them into my item slot. And I kind of forgot about that this item reduces my number of random encounters in the town. And I thought, well, maybe the developers intended for you to fight more than you actually did. So I kind of put myself into the position where I had to grind. But even so, and even more so, I would say that I have put my upgrades into the particular feats, these things that I get a lot more money from fighting these thugs on the streets. The amount of money was increased. Even still, first third or maybe even half of a game was really that was my only way to make money. I'm not even kidding. I didn't found anything else. It was very weird. Later, when this clan creator came out, of course, and there was a fishing mini game, but they weren't needed at that time because at that time I have started making much, much, much more money because I have created my money making, skills, like I mentioned, to the fullest. So I was, just walking around the town. I was making more money that I could have been while doing something else. It was kind of strange, but during the later part of the game, I didn't had any use for money, uh, and later I have stumbled upon an illegal arms merchant, like they have in these games. And it was mentioned, back in the, it doesn't matter. I knew that he exists, but I wasn't looking for him specifically. I didn't really care, but I stumbled upon him, and he had some decent things for me. And that's where the most costly things are. So maybe these kind of very high cost things, they kind of rubber band the economy, so it would feel kind of balanced. Maybe, I don't know, but balance is a weird thing because at the start I struggled, and later I just never cared about it at all. The money in this game is weird. So that's about it about gameplay. What about the story? The main meat. Well, not the main meat. It is actually a side dish of the game if you're playing the Yakuza series. But this game is very story driven. Main story is the main content of this game. And in some things I enjoy it, in some things, but not in all things, because as I mentioned before, since this game is like an amusement park, when you are tired of some part of it and main story can be that part, you just do some other things and have some fun. You relax while not wasting any time. That is good. That is a fun way of playing the game. But this game story isn't terrible. I think it is one of the better Yakuza stories in the franchise, especially compared to Kiwami 2. Oh my god, I still have a shit taste after the ending of the Kiwami 2. I mean, the whole game was alright, but the ending was so bad. So bad. I forgot about it, and then I remembered, and now I can't, escape this curse. It is very bad. But still, let's get back, to this game story. And the beginning of the story felt slightly forced. The game just puts you in a position like Kiryu has to, he has to go to the prison for 3 years. The important characters who influence the world around Kiryu and Kiryu has some very deep relationship with, they has to leave the scene, so they won't impact the narrative at all. And Haruka has to behave in a certain way to put Kiryu where the writers wanted him to be. And in one way, I think, for Haruka, being and, behaving like she behaved is very human. It is very, no one is perfect. It is very understandable, and I get it. But on the other hand, I always, kind of thought that they could have thought of some other reason and not just stress, because that kind of stress is what she was actually. I felt like she was kind of good at it. She was certainly mature for her age, even when she was 9. I have played Kiwami 2 recently, and I can say it with certainty. I don't know. Um, I I can say that the beginning felt slightly forced for me, but all right. Let's play with that, and then the game starts rolling. Kiryu re-explores the world that he left. He has his conflicts. He meets some old friends, makes some new ones, and then the game puts you into the new town. It's the second act of the game. You are traveling with Haruto. It's the Haruka's child. It is very cute. Haruto is very cute, and his relationship with Kiryu is very cute. They are going to the small town of Onomichi, which is in Hiroshima Prefecture of Japan. And I like this place. The whole place is so charming. It has, such a wholesome feeling. The mood is amazing. The vibes are real. I love Onomichi. I think it is my favorite town in the whole series. But I say it because I understand that it exists only in this vacuum of this wholesomeness and this part of the story. Because, of course, if we always playing Onomichi, you can't make that much in terms of different stories. Onomichi has only one mood, but it does it does what it does very well, and I I don't have words. I just really liked Onomichi, and the first kind of experiences of Kiryu in the small town, his chores and his interactions with locals. Um, they are very charming. I really enjoyed them. It was very good. And of course, Yakuza game pulls the same fucking bullshit that it ever does. Like, Yakuza just stumbled upon some unknown people on the street, and they end up being the most important people in the whole fucking story, not because of their relationship with Kiryu, but because Kiryu just stumbled upon some people who are intertwined in the bigger plot that he experiences, and it is it is in some ways cheap. I think a story can fall a little bit flat in that regard later, but the introductions are very good. Later, the game introduces some meaningless conflicts, just when they start, and, dramatic music plays and everything else. You know that there are no stakes. Of course, I played from the perspective of the one who played previous games. Maybe if it is your first game, you think like, oh shit, they were friends, but now they have to fight for fifth time in a game. What the fuck? Of course, maybe for you drama is working, but for me it certainly wasn't. It was tedious, and it was just sometimes a way for writers to put characters into the position where they can stumble upon the plot once again. Um, of course, as the game progressed further, most of the characters got their resolutions, many stories come to an end, and the main story ending was. It wasn't too great. It was good in some things, it was bad in other things. What I really didn't like is that the last act of the game, like the last um, 5 to 7 hours of the game, was mostly cutscenes. And imagine that you're playing the game, and you stumble upon a secret, upon a secret, upon a secret. You have a lot of questions, and then you just meet someone in some position, and he uncovers them all for you, when he even doesn't need to, kind of. And he explains them, to certain details that would be important later for your understanding as a player and as a Kiryu for them, but in a position where he shouldn't, kind of. It feels very weird, and there are a lot of these cutscenes. Like, oh my god, the first half of the game, yeah, it has plenty of them, sure, but the later part, oh my god, I was pretty much watching a movie. Sometimes fighting the meaningless fights, and the story was sort of predictable in many regards. Um, it had um, whole game. The whole game has a message, its theme, and its theme is relationship between children and their parents. their legacy, and everything else surrounding that. And you can understand it as a player very early on. And it is a theme that goes through the main story, many of the characters, and even sub stories as well. And in the end, this theme is just pushed right in your face, like what, like that, like that. Just so even if you are a dumbest guy alive, you would understand the message of the game, what it was all about. It was all right, but not great. Main antagonists are very weak. Like, oh my god, how pathetic they are. And I don't mean like they're petty, like they're craven. I think that they are very poorly written. They sometimes lack motivation, or their motivation is underexplored, or they don't have enough depth, or sometimes my sense of logic just contradicts the narrative of the game, because sometimes they can do evil shit just for the sake of doing we're evil, now we're gonna ruin your life just for the sake of it. It was so stupid. Oh my god. But the good thing is some minor antagonists are very promising. Han Ji-han is one of them. It was He was kind of charming, and I think mm, overall it was a good idea to put him into the game. But what I didn't like is that he's the leader of Korean mafia, Gomijul, which was one of the main antagonists in Yakuza 2 that I have played recently. And in Yakuza 2, the main problem with these guys is their suicidal tendencies. Like, they either live and do just, what is needed of you, or you die gloriously, and that is what it was all about. Here they kind of forget about it and make them the generic Korean mafia, even though they have the mood of the past grudges, and or something like that. But still, missed opportunity. Another minor antagonist is Somea. I just so I won't spoil the story much. I won't go into much of the detail for him, but throughout the game he goes through an arc. It is noticeable, and really I think what I think what the developers wanted from him, I really enjoy. I enjoy the concept of his story. How they dealt with it is another question, And I think if we had more Samia in the game, it would have been better. I think overall, both of these minor antagonists are very underused. But of course, we didn't want to blow, we didn't want to story to get too big and convoluted. So that is okay in that regard, at least. What else is here? Of course, we have mini games. How can we not have mini games in Yakuza story, or in Yakuza game? And I will mention. I will try to do it quickly, of course, but still, I have strong opinions in some of them. And Yakuza 6 has not much in terms of a variety and the quality of these mini games. This is the game. This is the only game in the series where mini games are the things that I like the least, and I'm very sad to say it. The first one is the most important one, of course, is the client creator. I mentioned before what I think about it. It is a trash. It is trash in everything that it attempts to do, especially in story. Um, the whole story rolls around the character that you accidentally meet on the street. I won't get into the details. All right, I won't get into the details. But the story rolls on not around Kiryu. It rolls around another character. He is the main character. Kiryu is not the main character, and yet the organization that you're running, your clan, it is a Kiryu clan. It is named after you, and it is run in the manner and structure of Yakuza family. You put your characters into these positions, which why? Why? And I don't think that isn't a fun concept. I think that is a great concept, but they don't use it at all. The only thing that they get is a flat buffs in terms of numbers, and that is it. It doesn't matter. My second in command was Pocket Circuit Fighter from Yakuza 0, well beloved side character. You can't take these, seriously even if you tried. It was very weird. And since I have cracked how this game works very early on, it was very easy. I cheesed through it like it was nothing, and thankfully it was faster compared to Yakuza Kiwami 2 as well. It was Story was worse than Yakuza Kiwami 2, and yeah, it was worse than wrestling shit that you don't even understand the references. Wrestling fan fiction was better than this shit. It was mechanically uninspired. It was boring, and I'm glad that it didn't take much of my time. I hope this minigame never fucking returns in any later games. It was a trash. But I hope even if they try something like that, they will revamp it very deeply. Yeah, that's about it about Client Creator. But we have a gym. You can become a member of the best gym in Kamurocho, and it is very stupid. Really, what you get is you can choose two exercises that you do. They have a very stupid minigame each. That don't feel rewarding, and for that you get a boost to your experience points. To certain experience points that you choose via choosing your exercises. But to seal the deal, you have to make sure that the next time you eat, and remember, the eating in this game is the one of the core mechanics of Yakuza 6, as well as it was in Yakuza Kiwami 2. That is the way that you mainly gain your experience points and heal in many times. Um, you have to make sure that you eat just what your coach says that you should eat. If you eat something wrong, you botch your training and you don't get as much experience points as you want. Therefore, the game says to you, well, here we have a mini game that is not fun. It restricts you in your gameplay severely. It halts your progress, but it makes that the whole purpose of it to increase your progress. It is like an oxymoron. It is weird. I really hope that when the next time they will try something like that, they will do better. Next one is the cat cafe. I don't get why it exists in the form that it does. Um, the thing is, Eskir, you stumble upon a cat cafe, which is pretty much empty. There is only one cat, and somehow it likes you, but it doesn't like the owner. And the owner says that, "Oh my God, cats don't like me, but I adore cats, and I really want to run these cat cafe, and." But I don't want to run it with any cats. I only want stray cats, and I want to prove to the world that the stray cats are as good as any other cats when you wash them, of course, and feed them properly. And now you, random passerby, you have to go into the world and make sure that stray cats like you enough. You should feed them enough so they would like you, so we can take them and put them into my business with my capricious model of it. And what do you get as a reward for it? Um, you don't get nothing. Nothing at all. At least I didn't get. Maybe if you complete it wholly to the end, you will get some kind of grand reward. But I didn't get shit. I put like 5 or 7 cats into there, some in Onamichi, some in Kamurocho, and what I ended up having is one room where these cat models just are sitting in the random parts in it, with a couch where I can sit on, and with a front, point of view, like your uh, first person kind of view. You can just sit around and watch, and you don't get anything else. It is the most uninspired in terms of gameplay collection minigame that I have seen. Um, Even though, as you have heard before, previous minigames that I've mentioned, they sound amazing as concepts, like Kiryu going to the gym, Kiryu having his own clan. But this is the theme for all the minigames in this game. Like the next one, Net Cafe. You meet the guy on the street who is arguing with his girlfriend, who is mad at him because he's spending all of his money on the streamers, like OnlyFans streamers, like the girls who are residing over the chat rooms and showing their tits to the visitors for donations. It is a very gooning experience, as the kids nowadays would say, and it is so dumb. It is so dumb. Each game in the series has karaoke, pretty much. Well, most of them, like 95%. And what it is a fucking QTE minigame. You just put the buttons as what the game requires of you. You just press it. That's it. And this game is the same. It is the same. And that's it. You just watch the pre-recorded video of the girl who's sitting in front of her computer, and she's talking only to you in the chat room. She only answers your questions, and that is weird. But what I really like that is the atmosphere surrounding that, because if you are looking into the chat screen and you're looking at what other users are writing while watching the same thing, even though they are completely on PCs, even in their own lives, because streamer doesn't notice them; it only notices you, who types like this, which is kind of hilarious. They really write some funny shit. I want you to check it out. It is very cool. But that's it. It has a it is a candy that has a very fancy, a fun wrapper, but it has a shit inside. I don't, masturbate looking into the, while playing games. That is just not my cup of tea. Therefore, I didn't enjoy it. Cabaret Club, even worse, even worse. We had a two twice. We have played a Cabaret Club mini game where you run it. Now you can visit it, and I understand the idea, I understand the concept, but it is so boring. I just don't care about these girls. Um, why should I? They're worthless, yeah, they have their own characters, they have their own, the things that they like, and if I understand correctly, you can invite them to do some other content with you. You can call them to do karaoke with you. I think, at least, because I only did it twice. It was so boring and, as I said before, uninspiring. I really didn't care. And at the point of the story that I was on, this mini game was very costly for me, because you can put full, you can extend your time. There is a lot of ways to spend money in Cabaret Club, even in the real life. So yeah, it follows the same theme. Cool concept, bad execution. Baseball mini game. Later into the game, you are called to be a captain of the baseball team, and the game doesn't explain to you the rules of the said baseball. Therefore, it is a garbage. I don't wanna, read anything outside the game to learn the sport that I don't care about. It is very weird. Maybe it has some story around it. At least there were hints that there is a story around it. But nah. There's, of course, our baseball cages. Didn't care about them. They kinda exist in some of these games. There are, of course, how they're called, I forgot. These Sega. There are virtual fighters and hang on these mini games. Arcade, yeah, yeah, arcade machines. They're there, of course, as well, and I don't care about them as well. I didn't even try it because I wasn't really in the mood for it. But if I understand correctly, this game doesn't even has a claw machine. Maybe I'm wrong, of course, because I remember that I tried to play claw machine in the baseball cages back in Cambridge, and they weren't active. And I felt that is weird. Claw machine is kind of a staple of this game, but there is another staple mini game in this game, and that is darts. And it was the most surreally stupid experience that I had, because I stumbled upon it, and the game went horrible. Maybe it gets better as you get, better darts. It has its own equipment in terms of darts that maybe can improve your aim, but it was really impossible to aim. And I remember the rules of darts from playing back in Yakuza 0, so it wasn't that bad in that regard, but it was hopeless. And I botched it completely. And then the cutscene plays that there is a cameo of some real life darts professional coming into the room and saying, "You, Kiryu, who played like shit, I think you have a talent and you should go to the top to play with me." And I'm like, yeah, 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 see you in Yakuza 8, maybe, I'm not sure. I just don't give a fuck. Good luck, man. No, I just didn't want to bother. It wasn't that fun. The beginning was so bad because of that randomness. I really couldn't aim at all. It was so stupid. It was very weird. Anyway, also there is a mahjong. I still don't know the rules. I still don't care. And there is one of the bigger mini games is an underwater fishing mini game. It is maybe the weirdest one of the bunch because the game kind of tells you that this mini game is important. It may be not as important as the clan creator, but it is second to that. And it has its own story, it has its own progression, it has its own upgrades. But I couldn't care less. I played it 5 times. 5 times I have played it. I've played it with the first rifle that you get. I have played it with the second rifle that you get, and way later into the game, I have bought from the illegal gun merchant an elite rifle, which was broken, and even that didn't make me enjoy this minigame at all. What this minigame is, just so you understand, is a shooting range. You just swimming through the water and shooting at fish, so you're fishing like that. It is basically like House of the Dead, if you're familiar with that. It's not hard mechanically. You're just aiming with a stick, and there is one button to shoot and one button to reload. That is it. That is it. There's nothing, it is not hard. So why it is so annoying? Because of how fast and sensitive cursor is. Uh, your cursor, where you're shooting, is just, goes all the way through the screen like that. It was so annoying. Why they didn't make it right, I don't understand. They made it right just, in the previous mainline game in Yakuza 0, where there was this telephone club mini game. It was all right there. Why wasn't it all right here? I don't get it. It was weird. It's annoying. But I'm sure that there are some mini games that I might have forgot, or I even didn't try. Even once I didn't try. But there is one certain, and I'm sure it exists, mini game that I didn't even unlock, even though I have, tried walking around the town, but I didn't Google it. Maybe a quick Google search would have given me an answer how to do it. And that is a drinking minigame. You have some upgrades in your skill tree to be better at the minigame, where you drink with some buddies of yours. But I didn't even unlock it. Never. there is this huge bar in Onomichi, which, even map highlights it as an important story building, but I never get to go inside. I never triggered any sub story leading to it. It never just happened. Yeah, I almost was sad, but on the other hand, I was too invested in other part of the content to care. So that is all right. But still, this is the first, well, maybe not the first, but uh, this is the Yakuza game where the mini games are not the thing that you want to do. All of them are half-assed, in my opinion. Even though the concepts of them are pretty cool. Oh God, we're talking about an hour here. All right, I'll try to speed it up. But still, we have a sub stories, and it is a big section of the game. Sub stories always were a main meat of this series for me. Main story is a side dish to it, in my opinion, and this game has second best sub stories in the whole series, in my opinion. What types sub-stories basically is, if you haven't played, is like a filler episodes in anime where you walk on the street and you stumble upon some some story with some characters that exist only in this sub-story, and you explore this sub-story in one or two interactions, maybe three, four, and it leads to the resolution, and the sub-story ends, and that is it. So, as I said before, second best sub-stories in the whole franchise, in my opinion. In Yakuza 0, of course, they were better, but I think even Yakuza 7, which had decent sub-stories, was worse than Yakuza 6. The cool thing about most of the sub-stories in Yakuza 6 is, and I really liked it, maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I really liked it, is that most of them follow the theme of the game, that parent and child dynamic that we have talked about. But not only that, it also dwells on the themes of the arcs that the characters go through, especially the characters of Haruka and Kiryu. I will give you some examples, of course. The Kamurocho, the most important location, maybe in the whole series, wasn't great in terms of sub stories, in my opinion. It was alright, but there were some very good ones. And my favorite one was about meeting a young girl that is a fan of Haruka. Um, Haruka, after 3 years, after resigning from the position of the pop star, the idol, is basically forgotten, and there are a small number of very loyal fans of her, and you meet a girl that is. And she liked Haruka because of her message, of everything, it is a very pure, she does it with a very pure heart, not in a naive way, but in a very, well, you'll get it if you play it. That was a very interesting and sometimes even fun sub story, and it was very well written too. I really enjoyed it. Also, we have in Onomichi, as I mentioned before. I adore Onomichi because it has a vibe, it has a mood, and sub stories carried even further. There's a lot of sub-stories in Onomichi. Most of them follow very wholesome themes. Or we can meet some very strange shit, like ghosts, like a girl who claims that she have traveled here from the future, or there is a pair of teenagers that trying to bullshit their way, like they have changed, their minds with each other, like the girl now in boy's body and boys in the girl's body. There are a lot of cool stories, but some of them really stuck out with me. The first one is about the guy that I mentioned before. It is a pocket circuit fighter, a very prominent side character from Yakuza 0, fan favorite too. And his sub story was very good. The other one is the guy from the sect sub story, the Majima, the second protagonist of the Yakuza 0. He got into this cult in Yakuza 0, and it had its own sub story, and this sub story is basically a sequel to it. And I, even though this sub story, if you played the previous one, is kind of boring in some regards, but I really enjoy the theme of it, and the perspective that it gives through the character of the guy that gives you this quest, basically. I really respect that. Also, some story about the town's mascot, Onomichio, was very cool. Um, the idea is that this town is a small town that is known mostly for its shipbuilding. It is not a prominent tourist location, but to gain some tourist notoriety, in a good way, of course, well, maybe not notoriety, but fame, the local administration invented Onomichio, the character, which is um, it is a big orange wearing some noodles, has a fish pouch, and it is charming, like it was made by a child, and I think developers like it even more than I do, even though I like it. So they put this mascot into the later games, even the games that they don't have to do anything with Onomichi as a location at all. In some ways, it feels weird, but it is okay. I'm glad that this sub story exists, and the whole mood of the Onomichi is great. So that is pretty much about the sub stories. Sub story is really good in Yakuza 6. I really encourage you to play them. Well, my closing thoughts, there of course are some, and I will try to run through them fast as well. First off, the game didn't tire me out as much as I expected. Usually, I play Yakuza game for about 50 hours or whatnot. How long it goes, and I'm kind of tired. So when I complete it, I try to play some other game to unwind. To not be bothered by the same game formula. To do something else. And for the last half a year, it really worked out very well, because I have played some usually JRPG and Yakuza, JRPG, Yakuza, And yeah, it was fun. Right now, even though I have played this whole game, I don't feel tired out. It is, of course, a shorter game in terms of main story, a little bit at least. And I didn't do a lot of side content, but I mentioned what I think about the side content in this game. Speaking of which, yeah, I mentioned it, but I have to say it again. It isn't great. Side content in this game is not uh, is it isn't important, I think, and I'm not sad that I missed out on a lot of it. The third thing is that the game feels rushed. It is rushed. I think um, if there was like one more year uh, given to the developers to completely polish the engine, the locations, the story, very importantly, and invent some cool gaming mechanics into the existing concepts of mini games, it would have been an amazing game, best in the series most likely, because the themes, the mood, some characters, the ideas. There is a lot to love in Yakuza 6, and I have enjoyed it immensely. I think, yeah, there was just a little bit of a lack in those regards. And of course, the most important point may be that the gameplay isn't greatest. The game isn't polished technically, and story is inconsistent in its pacing. But the most important thing is not that. The most important thing is that regardless of all of that, the game has its own soul. It has a heart. I think that the developers, the creators, I always forget how the game director is called, the original one, Nagoya or something like that. Well, you can look that up. You know, you, if you look at the photo of him, you understand exactly what kind of a guy he is. Well, I think he put a little bit of his heart into this game, and I really loved the game for it. I love it almost as much as Yakuza 7, and I have enjoyed Yakuza 7 a lot. It suffers from some of the same problems, if you think about it. But Yakuza 7 is better, maybe in terms of mini games. Well, in terms of mini games, it is a lot better. No question about it. In terms of fighting, of course, Yakuza 7 is a turn-based RPG, but still, they're in kind of a different leagues. But they are both maybe equally bad and equally good, and they are both very, they have cool vibes to it. So yeah, if you want to play a good Yakuza game, I really recommend Yakuza 0, 6, or 7. Yakuza 6, of course, best experienced by someone who played other games. And I'm very glad that I have played Yakuza 0, 1, and 2 before it. And Yakuza 7 to an extent, but not really. It didn't enhance my experience from 6 drastically, I'd say. I just like the series, and I remember most things in Yakuza 7 that have came directly from the sixth, and I'm not talking about the Dragon Engine. I'm of course talking about the characters and some storylines, some concepts. So yeah, these are my thoughts. If you like numbering scores for your games, that is one of the more 8 out of 10 games that I have played. I'm not sure that I will play it again. I the face of the game is the Takeshi Kitano, beat Takeshi as he is known in Japan, um, in literal sense and in metaphorical one. There is a lot to love about this game, and I'm very glad that I have completed it. But still, for now, that is all about Yakuza 6. I haven't decided what I will complete next, but I really like that I have started marathoning these single player games. I am glad that my gaming bucket list is completed more and more. But on the other hand, there is one little game called Overwatch 1 that was released earlier this month, and I have a lot to say about this game. Maybe not in the length of this video, maybe even so, but I'm not sure yet. But I hope I will find time and strength in myself to make a video about it soon, because my experience with it was very fun, and I have played it plenty recently with many friends of mine. So yeah, that is pretty much all that I wanted to say. If you stuck with me for these 80 minutes, man, I love you. Nah, nah, just don't care about it. Thank you for your attention, I would say. I hope that if someone randomly stumbles upon these videos, will have his own experiences to share, his own ideas, his concepts, or has questions, anything. I would be very glad, but still, even if no one does, I'm enjoying the time that I'm having here. So yeah, see you soon, I hope.